That really goes back to World War II. The fellow that wrote the history of the Navy, the whole history of the Navy, was on our ship. We picked him up in Boston, and he stayed on our ship all the way through to the Mediterranean and got off at Gibraltar. And the captain assigned me to help him to type up his notes and various things like that. And he came on our ship to write about a certain operation we had in the Mediterranean that never had been done before. That's what he wrote about convoy in the Mediterranean and North Africa. You see, I've got it was a 15 or 20 volume. Samuel Eliot Morse, he's a very well-known historian. And historian, there's a story in here about that. And I just have the one volume that I would participate in. We had an air attack and we didn't have any damage. They had 10 torpedo planes, no, 10 horizontal bombers and 30 torpedo planes hit us right at dusk in the middle of the Mediterranean one night. We had 40 oilers and freighters that we were bringing in for the invasion of southern France. Mm-hmm. And they didn't do any damage. But we shot almost every one of them down. 10 horizontal bomber, the 30 torpedo plane, we shot every one of those down. And we shot half of the bombers down. Hurricane. Our ship left Boston and we were going south and ran into a hurricane, and it stripped everything off. All the lifeboats and rafts, everything was stripped off. We just barely survived the hurricane. Destroyer that was with us, it sank off of Cape Hatteras, off of Virginia. We had to go into Cuba and get all new, into Guantanamo Bay, and get all new lifeboats and life rafts and everything. That was my first experience. And I got sick. Everybody got sick, seasick from the hurricane. I've been writing for 70 years. 60 years ago, I started writing for the newspapers, the Bernie Star. I've got 261 on my computer right now. And I decided to print them and put them in that binder and put them out for the people to read. I put new ones out every 2 weeks. They like them. When I take them away, they start asking me, when am I going to put them? the history of Texas and the Southwest, the Civil War and the Mexican War. I just think Texas is the best state in the United States. They're inevitable. In Africa, 4 million years ago, there was say there was a village of people, and the village got too big, and one of the prominent young men took his wife and family and moved over somewhere and built another village, and that was the beginning. That's when it all began, and it's never ended for the same reason. You got 2 villages, 2 cities, 2 countries, 2 hemispheres, whatever. And they also, like I was saying, they have new ships and new planes and new cannons and new types of war uniforms. They gotta try them out. Well, the wars are just repetitious. They're modern. They're ancient and modern, but the wars are all for the same reason. They're brought on by industry and bankers. That's the cause of war, and that's what keeps it going. Without the arms manufacturers would go broke if they didn't have war. They love it. They cause them. You see how much arms we produce today, every day. We promote wars all over the world. So the arms makers can make a living out of that with their production. That's why we invent new types of armament. That's what a war is all about. The next war probably will be almost entirely fought in the air.